Sorry I wasn't able to be here for the entire day as all of you, and I thank you for having this hearing. I was watching as much as I could, so thank you to CTN for broadcasting it. There were a lot of jokes made today through testifying, and I am not actually testifying on behalf of myself. I'm a board of directors member for North Central Regional Mental Health Board, and our our executive director needed to go to a CAC meeting, which she's legislatively mandated to do. So she unfortunately had to leave. So I'm testifying on her behalf. Her name is Marcia DeFore. My name is Micheala Fissel, and I live in Windsor. Thank you for the opportunity to address this assembly regarding the 2016-2017 proposed appropriations budget and revenue package that supports the budget. This is what I know. The 2016-2017 budget was proposed by Governor Malloy, threatened the entire safety net counted on by Connecticut's most vulnerable citizens. It made cuts to spending in every area of health and human services available to them. I am writing to you as Executive Director of North Central Regional Mental Health Board. Our board's responsibility is to study the mental health needs of people in our region and assist the Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services with setting priority for services to meet those needs. So the people I know best are the people who are challenged by mental illness and addiction living in your communities. There are people who continue to say, "Not in my backyard," and for that reason, we have to work much harder at community awareness and education, but I am convinced that you know they are living in your backyards. As most of you know, the governor's budget, among other things, eliminated state funding for regional mental health boards. The budget proposed by the Republican caucus supported these recommendations for elimination, which disappointed us deeply. We have heard from some Republican senators and representatives that this was an oversight. We hope so. Here is what we know. Over the past 2 months, the regional board, staff, and volunteers, including myself, have met with almost every senator and representative who serves people living in the communities we serve. If we haven't met with you, it is not for lack of trying. We have seen that across both sides of the aisles, we are represented by leaders who are smart and who care about the people we serve. We are grateful to many of you for the advice you have given us, some about our own messaging and some about areas of excessive spending and potential efficiencies, and some about resources of revenue that could be drawn upon to support the budget. We have heard many good ideas across the aisle. Personally, I don't believe we should use state monies for a baseball stadium or build 8 new charter schools when we are cutting taxes to people who are disabled, elderly, or impoverished. Going forward, we need to address some of the excessive benefits enjoyed by state employees, but I find it unrealistic to think that we will be able to open up those contracts in time to address today's concerns. That doesn't mean that you don't pursue these going forward, and that's my comment. I agree with much of the plan proposed by the Finance Committee. It is an attempt to promote balance and equity, to generate funds needed to provide critical safety net services without increasing the burden on middle-class citizens. We cannot afford the damage that will be done without a spending plan that addresses these critical safety net needs. We are heartened by the bipartisan support we have observed for the individuals we serve. It is sincere and significant. What we are asking you to do is to work together with us, with your fellow senators and representatives across both sides of the aisle to do the right thing, and together to influence our governor to do the right thing as well.
Thank you, Micheala.
May I, just add one additional comment, just as myself, Micheala from Windsor?
Certainly, go ahead.
So I was a recipient of a lot of state services. I had my son when I was really young, probably too young, but thankfully there were many social services in place that allowed me to step up and out of the welfare system. And it was really hard to do that. And now I'm in this weird middle ground with my husband now, and we've had a couple more children, and we're finally starting to feel like we're on our feet. However, I'll tell you, when I look at my paycheck, it makes us both wonder if it would just be easier to get back on state insurance, if it would just be easier to get back on WIC, to go back on all the different Care for Kids, all of that stuff out there. And we're not alone in that feeling. And so when we continue to hear just through the media and when we continue to see tax increases, it makes us wonder if we're ever truly going to be out of the hole that unfortunately we were in. And I'm in support of the idea of a safety net, but too often it feels to me, because I work in this field as well, that it seems like a hole. It seems like a hole that there isn't a ladder to climb out of. And so I'm in support of the idea of evaluating the programming that we're currently funding to determine if it's truly effective. And so moving forward, I'm not in support of continuing to see tax increases, but I am in support of accountability and results-based accountability for sure. So thank you so much for all the work that you guys do and for taking the time to be here today.